Get it. All right, y'all. We're back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know what happened there. It just ended like that. I don't know how. They trying to stop a man grind, but hey, we still here. We ain't gonna stop nothing. Um, but yeah, man. Champ, what's going on, bro? I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either, bro. Who did you make the mayor of your city mad or something, man?
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man.
Mad, bro. I'll make him mad.
This is ridiculous, bro. But hey, man, what were we talking about? I think we were talking about the not the Texans. It was the dang. What were we talking about?
What were you talking about?
The Rams. The Rams.
Rams.
I think it was
The
Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, Sam Darnold. Yeah, Champ. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like I said, you got to ask yourself, or like I said earlier, you got to ask yourself, was he really exposed, or this is who he really is? Because if you're doing this right now with all of this plethora of talent around you, I understand it's your first playoff game, but is a team really going to want to invest in you if they have a lot less than what the Minnesota Vikings have? The Minnesota's loaded. You have the best receiver in the league. You have Jordan Addison, have an all-pro wide receiver, and you have Aaron Jones. So, I mean, you just can't do it much better than that. Then you had a stifling defense. That defense wasn't good. It was stifling. So it was a suffocating defense. Brian Flores' scheme was, impeccable, especially when you added to the fact they lost Danielle Hunter, one of their best pass rushers. They lost Danielle Hunter. So that was their best pass rusher for a long, long time. So, yeah, when you add all of that into a factor and stuff like that, yeah, you got to ask yourself, did you really get exposed, or is this who you really is? And if this who you really is, do I really want you as my quarterback? The answer is probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not. But yeah, man, we just go move on to the next game that happened. The Commanders, they beat the Buccaneers the first time in a long time, right?
Yeah, the first time since 2005, the first playoff game since 2005.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, man, Commanders beat the Buccaneers 23-20. Jaden Daniels had 2 touchdowns, 268 yards, and he was also the leading rusher with 36 yards. Terry McLaurin showing why he's like one of the most slept-on receivers in the game. He had 89 yards with a touchdown. For you, Champ, what's your thoughts on the Commanders?
Number one, shout out to my brother PSP, man, because he was happy as hell when that happened. But I digress, man. That's my guy. So shout out to his team, man. Number one, man, shout out to Josh Harris and Magic Johnson. Shout out to those guys, the owners of that team, who brought in that new regime with a bang. I mean, shout out to them, because although, and I said this on a video that I made, although Magic Johnson is a mythical figure, he is larger than life. Although he is that, you never see him all in front of the camera, all trying to be in front of press conferences. You don't see that from that ownership group. You don't see him doing that when he with the Dodgers. And his team just won another World Series with the Dodgers. So I will say this. Shout out to that regime, bringing that in with a bang. Shout out to Jaden Daniels, who's doing a lot with a little. That he doesn't have a stifling defense like Bo Nix did. The defense is sometimes up and down. Luckily, Dan Quinn can scheme. He's a defensive coordinator. He can scheme in a lot of ways in order to make that defense great in situations. But outside of that, you have a running back by committee. You have Scary Terry. You have your tight end. And you have a mediocre, at best, maybe average offensive line. Maybe. So big ups to that team for recognizing it. And look, they was taking pop shots at Jaden Daniels. It wasn't one of those games where he had a clean jersey the whole game. It wasn't one of them games. He had a stretch where he was getting hit. Remember, they hit him in the face. He had blood coming out of his face. I don't know if he needed stitches or not, but he had, it was a clean, good hit. But yeah, they pretty much gave him a run for his money. And guess what? that's why you love to see some of these rookie quarterbacks have that veteran presence. And Jaden Daniels has just that. And big ups to Cliff Kingsbury for simplifying that offense and not overwhelming him in the first year. They kept it simple for him. They don't overwhelm him. He had a great safety net with his tight end and Scary Terry. Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler, they do their thing this time too. And look, they're, like I said, they are some hogs, offensive line, away from being true contenders. They get them some hogs up there. They're gonna be Super Bowl contenders. So, look out for the Washington Commanders in the future, man.
For sure. I think I just want to say this though, but Berkey Irvin, I think that man's a star. I think he's gonna be a future star. Rashad White he lost his job already. He's done. Rashad White, he's done. He's out of there.
Yeah, I think he's out of there.
And shout. You said who?
And Jalen McMillan. Jalen McMillan was going to be an asset to that Bucs team for years to come. So they're gonna have so when Chris Godwin comes back, they're gonna definitely have a three-headed monster up there in Tampa Bay at the wide receiver position with Chris Godwin, old reliable in Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan, and then you have Bucky Irvin. So those are weapons that Baker Mayfield has at his disposal in order to spread that ball around and look like he's in Oklahoma. But big ups to Baker Mayfield. This is his second division title since leaving Cleveland.
Right.
I mean, this is his second division title. Although he didn't win a playoff game, it wasn't really expected for him to go to the playoffs, especially when you think about the beginning of the year expectations. They expected him to fall off a cliff because, and I'm guilty of that because everybody was talking about my Atlanta Falcons. Everybody was talking about the Falcons. The Falcons are going to win this division. This is their division to lose. And then come to find out, came back from a 4-6 deficit and won the division. Can't do much better than that. And he kept them in the game as long as they could. So Baker Mayfield is definitely a good quarterback. He's proven why he is the number one pick. Has won 2 playoff games, has been to the playoff 3 times. And you know what? You can bet your lucky stars that the Cleveland fans and the Cleveland faithful would love to have him back if they could. But hey, it's too late now, man. The great words of Aretha, next time ain't the one to wait for. So hey.
Hey, same facts. All right, y'all. The Bills versus the Broncos. This is the last game we're gonna talk about before we get to the divisional picks. 31-7, the Bills beat the Broncos. I'm not gonna lie. The first drive, I don't know if you saw it, Champ, but Bo Nix and them that the first drive, they were going crazy that first drive. I thought, oh man, they're gonna do something. But then the Bills just started taking away, man. And shout out to James Cook, 120 yards, 20 carries. And Champ, that's your boy.
From UGA, by the way. Oh, look. UGA. I thought it was gonna be a shootout at first. I was like, oh, and I was saying, oh crap, there's about to be a shootout. Yeah. And I'm asking myself, I'm putting scenarios in my head because we all football fans and we all human. What's going to happen if Bo Nix comes out here and beat Josh Allen? That's the first thing I'm thinking, them first couple of drives. Then the Buffalo Bills turned it up and then turned it out. In the great words to MC Hammer, they turned that mother out. So the thing is, man, it was crazy. And big ups, and thank you, Brandon, for giving James Cook his flowers. Because people don't realize he was second in the league in rushing touchdowns this year. Half of their rushing touchdowns, James Cook scored them. And James Cook is a very, very good back. The only difference between him and how they use him and how Baltimore is using Derrick Henry is they don't feed James Cook like that until they're in bad weather situations. When they're in bad weather situations, they feed James Cook. They don't feed him like that. If you give that young man 300 carries, I guarantee you the production that you want out of him, he will give you. So I recommend next year give him 300, give him 300 carries, 360, and see what he does. He made the Pro Bowls just last year, and he was second in the league in touchdowns this year. They don't feed him as much as they do Derrick Henry. So for people who keep saying, well, Josh Allen doesn't have the running back that, and granted, he's not as good as Derrick Henry. Let's just be clear. But guess what? He's better than people are giving him credit for. Because in these bad weather games, they're turning around and giving that ball to James Cook. It's not just Josh Allen on that team.
Right. Also, about James Cook, he's still on his rookie contract.
Yeah, he's still on his rookie contract. I mean, yeah. Still, I think this is like his third year in the league. Last year he made the Pro Bowl, and this year he was second in the league in touchdowns, right behind Derrick Henry and Saquon. So, hey, look, you might have to pay him. And plus, he had the most yards in Buffalo Bills playoff history outside of, I think it was the late great OJ. So 130 yards in the playoffs. So, hey, pay him.
Right, for sure. And also for the Broncos, I would like to say shout out to Bo Nix and the group. They really overachieved. I think they've definitely overachieved. Nobody expected them to go to the playoffs or none of that. I think I had them winning like bottom in the pack, like 5-6 games. I wasn't expecting them to win like this, but they do. They got themselves a franchise quarterback.
Yes, they do.
They got themselves. They got them a franchise quarterback.
Yes.
All right, y'all. We're gonna move on. We're gonna go to the divisional games, man. We're gonna start out with the Texans versus the Chiefs. 4:30 Saturday. Who you got? Who you got, champ? Texans or Chiefs? Texans or Chiefs? I think this is unanimous.
I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes until he proves otherwise that he can lose. It's kind of like betting against Mike Tyson before Buster Douglas. You know, it's kind of like, no, I'm not being sarcastic. If you go back in time and rewind it and look at every Tyson fight, it's kind of hard to bet against him until he faces Buster Douglas. So you got to ask yourself this year, who is going to be Buster Douglas to Patrick Mahomes' Mike Tyson? Because thus far, only two people have. That's Joe Burrow, and the GOAT himself, the man he's trying to chase in history. So, gotta ask yourself, who's gonna be that? So, hey, who's gonna be that? Who's gonna be that person who stops it? It's gonna be interesting to see.
For sure. All right, I got the Chiefs winning, of course. The Texans did pick up Deontay Johnson, but he's talking about he might not play or something like that. This activity.
No, he's at the Baltimore Ravens. He back at the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, I saw something that he said he signed with the Texans or something like that. That's what I saw.
He signed with the Ravens. Yeah, he signed with the Ravens, which is weird because he just got released by the Ravens like a couple of weeks ago. Like, damn, okay. But I don't know what to say about that. You know, you go back to your ex twice over, I guess. I don't know.
Right. For sure. Next game we're gonna talk about. Let's see. The Commanders versus the Lions, an interesting game. 8:00 Saturday night. Who you got, champ?
I don't think that the Commanders have enough to compete with the Lions. And what I think is going to happen, depending on, I think David Montgomery comes back this game. I think this is going to happen. They're going to rev up that running game because Washington is weak against the run. And they're going to keep the young man right on the sideline. You can't hurt us from the sideline. They're going to run that clock out as much as they can with Sonic and Knuckles. So I don't believe that Washington has enough. Now, would it shock me if they upset them? No, because they've beaten some good teams over the course of this year, i.e. Philly. But I don't think they have enough this year. I mean, like I said, I don't think that although they're missing Aiden Hutchinson and a lot of their pass rush, I don't think they can stop guys like Zadarius Smith and some of the defensive pass rushers by committee that they have. I just think Detroit has too much. Now, would it shock me if they won? No. But I mean, it would I just think Detroit has too much for him, man. It's too much for a young rookie to overcome by himself as far because he don't have the defense that a lot of these other guys do in order to compensate if he was to make mistakes. So
Right. For sure. All right. But I do I got the Lions winning this game. I've been hearing rumors that Montgomery is coming back this game. Jameer Gibbs a dog. You got Monra, Jameson Williams shouting him from Alabama. Yeah, man. Like you said, child, I don't think the Commanders got enough for that Lions. And that Lions, the only thing about the Lions, I'm like, that's real stiffy a little bit. It's the defense.
yeah,
Lions defense. I'm like, I don't know, because they can give up a deep ball. They can give up a huge possession anytime. So yeah, but I do got the Lions winning. Next up, 3:00, we got the Rams versus the Eagles. We got champ.
Sorry, bro. This one's for Los Angeles.
You got Rams beating the Eagles?
Yes. This one's for Los Angeles. And I get the feeling I get the feeling that one of the biggest trades in NFL history is about to be revisited. And that was the Rams and the Detroit Lions when they made their trade for Matthew Stafford. That's what it's going to come down to in the NFC Championship at Ford Field.
In Philly. Wow.
In Philly. Ooh. Hey, they went on the road and beat a stacked team already. They beat a stacked team and held them to 3 points. And my thing is, last week, that Philadelphia's offense, they had averaged almost 30 points a game this season. That wasn't the Philadelphia Eagles that we were used to seeing. Granted, they simplified everything, and Jalen Hurts had just got a concussion protocol, but that wasn't Philadelphia that we're used to seeing. So, yeah, they got a lot of work they got to do because, hey, if they come out like they did, because the thing is, the real reason why a lot of things happened was they was able to shut down Jordan Love, and they was able to shut down that offense, which had a lot of players out. You know, had their number one and number two receivers out, and almost the entirety of their offensive line out. So, you gotta ask yourself if all those injuries wasn't there, would it be what it was, which was a massacre? So, yeah, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles definitely is prime for an upset at this point, especially when you have an emotional team that's going through a tragedy like that. They're going through a tragedy, and they're trying to galvanize a city like a Los Angeles. And Matthew Stafford's been here before. This ain't his first rodeo. This ain't his first time going on the road, being in the playoffs, being in a clutch situation. So yeah, I mean, he's the main reason why they started 1-4 and was able to win the division. So yeah, I mean, I'm taking Matthew Stafford. Plus, you know where Matthew Stafford from, right?
UGA, right?
You're a Georgia Bulldog. Yeah. So you know you never caught a Bulldog out.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just looking at it like this, like who the Eagles beat? Who the Eagles beat, champ? I forgot.
Let me see. Who did they beat? They beat the Rams early in the season. But this is a whole nother ball game. This is the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, they beat the Packers in the playoffs. They beat the Packers. But other than that game, I'm not even gonna lie. If Jalen Hurts played like he did, although like he played a conservative, like not conservative, but like he played, I won't say mid, but it won't like a Jalen Hurts game that I've seen him play. Like, I think this game, you got to give the ball to A.J. Brown. You got to give the ball to Smitty. He used Goddard, but you got to give them the ball this game. Got to. And Saquon. I mean, he's going to do do here. I think they're gonna utilize AJ Brown more, and yeah, man, I got them beating. I got them beating the Rams.
Okay,
I'm
that's
not gonna
fair.
lie, but I think it's gonna be a close game. I do think it's gonna be a close game. Uh, Now this is the main event right here, man. Sunday, 6:30. We got the Ravens versus the Bills, man. 6:30 Sunday night. Main event. Who you got, champ?
Hey,
Oh,
here's one
by
thing.
the way, champ, I would like to say this: two co-MVPs. The MVP, top two MVP leaders are they playing each other. But go ahead, champ.
Yeah, the co-MVPs. Hey, man, look, it's so close right now. It would shock me if they were co-MVPs, man. That would be a good thing. But first one time since Peyton and Steve McNair. Oh man, this is a game that neither one of these guys can afford to lose because the scrutiny is going to be damning if they lose, if when either one of them lose. If Lamar is going to be like, especially when Lamar, oh, we knew you was going to choke. For Josh Allen, it's like, you haven't done anything since. You haven't done it. You haven't done anything since that AFC Championship, that emotional loss. So it's going to be interesting to see. But that Buffalo weather is going to play a factor, because they say it's going to be sleeting and snowing like hell up there, which, that's an advantage. That is an advantage for Buffalo. So you can see, hey, I'm going to just be real. Look for a big game from both of those running backs. Look from a big game from James Cook and another big game from Derrick Henry. So look out for that. But I'm going to go with Lamar. I think Lamar is going to go up there and upset him. And I think that it's going to be one of those games where he said, you know what? This is my time. This is my time. So I think Lamar going to get him.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Ravens too, champ. Like you said, the snow and the sleet. Man, Derrick Henry, bro, that man still got it in him. I couldn't believe people really said on their mouths, like in the offseason stuff, that this man was washed. He ain't washed. This man still a top 3 running back in the league, top 2 as a matter of fact, to me. But
to be honest with you, everybody was talking about that age thing, and hell, Curtis Martin, he was still good when he was past his prime. There's been plenty of running backs that was good past their prime, and you have to be honest with yourself too. That Lamar Jackson factor definitely helps because guess what? They're not looking at me the entire time like they was looking at me in Tennessee. You got to watch both of us, and especially on plays where they have Keon Mitchell in there and Derrick Henry, because both of them have breakaway speed and power. So. Yeah, there's a Lamar Jackson factor in there. So when Jerry Jones say, I don't think that he will be as successful in our offense as he did in the Baltimore Ravens offense, he does have quite a bit of a point because in the Dallas offense, he wouldn't have had that Lamar Jackson factor. Because guess what? When you're looking back in that backfield, you're looking at not only one running back, you're looking at a running quarterback that can at least break for 60 if you look the wrong way. So, yeah, that is definitely something to behold. So that Lamar Jackson factor is definitely beneficial to Derrick Henry, just like Derrick Henry is to Lamar Jackson.
Right, for sure. Let's see. I want to get to some news right quick. Hold on. Corday said, I don't see a lot of field goals being taken. I'm expecting a lot of 2-point conversions in that game. Okay. But he said, give me Buffalo winning that game. Quentin Yu was declared for the draft, NFL draft. Chad, what's your thoughts on that? I don't like the move at all. I don't think he's ready.
I don't think he's ready either. But you know what? Some of these teams are very, very thirsty for quarterbacks, and I don't think they like this draft class. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think they like this draft class for some odd reason. I think the only person they really like is Cam Ward. I really think that. I don't think that too many teams, although they should, I don't think too many people are sold on Sador, and I don't think too many people are sold on Jackson Dart. So they need a fourth. I mean, somebody's gonna reach and get Quinn Ewers, I believe. Somebody's going to
He got
either reach in
Carson
the
Beck.
first round.
No, Carson Beck transferred. I'm tripping.
Yeah, Carson transfer. He went to the U, but somebody's going to reach and try to get it. I mean,
Not top 10 is crazy, bro.
These teams are thirsty. He's top 10 in this draft because it's a weak quarterback class. You got two main guys you got to worry about, and Jackson Dart. And I think Kyle McCord is going to come out as well. But when you think about it, outside of Sador, Jackson, and Cam, is anything else you're going to get is a reach. So, yeah, I mean, and plus he has turnover problems. He's given up the big plays where he's needed the most. I mean, and the thing is, he's basically the Chris Leak of Texas, to be honest with you. The real guy that everybody wanted to see was on the bench. And, hey, you got to get up out of there because guess what? It was only so long that Steve Sarkisian could hold back I was about to say Archie Manning. It was only so long. So, yeah, you had to get up out of there before, that pressure got to him.
Right. And also some more news. Mike Vrabel, is he the head coach of the Patriots?
Yeah, head coach of the Patriots. So, yeah, he's here for the Patriots. It's the right coach. I mean, he's been a successful coach. Got the NFC Championship with mediocre quarterback play. I would say with Ryan Tannehill, because now it's just going to be interesting to see what he does rebuilding this team, which he was a part of, those dynasty teams, and not to mention playing up under a familiar regime. Now that you're the head guy, listen to what you got. And look, he showed that the Patriot way can work in Tennessee. He showed that it can work. And he was able to relate to a lot of the players. He was able to implement a good defense, a good running game, a serviceable quarterback, and get off some big plays. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Mike Vrabel ends up doing in that division, especially when you have a building block like a Drake May. Drake May is no joke. He ain't no joke. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do with a building block like that, especially with you having the second pick in the draft. And like I said, somebody going to be willing to play a king's ransom in order to get one of these quarterbacks in the draft. And hey, you might just be lucky and get you a couple first round picks, get you a first, second, and a third in this draft, so you could kind of build depth around that team. You have some good building block. You have Christian Gonzalez. You have Drake May. You have some good building blocks around this team. It's just a matter of you building this team back up to what it used to be so that the Patriot way can reign again.
Right. What's going on, BRF? Welcome back.
Man, appreciate it, man. No, I got caught up. I live with the folks, so they helping. It's technology stuff, trying to help my dad. So we in there now. But I'm good though, man. How's the show going so far?
Oh, great. Me, Champ, talking it up. We just finished with the divisional predictions. I'm gonna get to you too. You right now, BRF. So I just want to know who you got winning with these games. First game we got Saturday, 4:30. We got the Texans versus the Chiefs. Who you got, BRF?
I mean, until someone can show me they can take down the king, you always pick the king. So I'm going Kansas City. Until somebody show me they can be the king slayer, I'm picking the king. So I gotta go Kansas City. I mean, with this game, it's one of those where it's like, I don't think Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are going to come in and make a lot of the same mistakes that like Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh did, as far as mainly Justin Herbert, like the mistakes that he made, like throwing the ball and the defense is taking advantage of him. Patrick Mahomes, I don't think is that guy. I think, especially now being in the playoffs, I think this is his realm, and he's going to come out and look to play mistake-free football. So I got to go Kansas City.
Sure. Next game we got Commanders versus the Lions. Who you got?
I'm gonna pick Detroit here because one thing Detroit's been good at all year is taking advantage of the weaknesses of a defense. And we all know what the weakness of the Washington Commanders defense is their ability to stop the run. And Lord behold, you about to see Jahmyr Gibbs. So it wouldn't shock me at all if Jahmyr Gibbs gets about 20 to 25 carries and really just beats up that interior defense and just wears them out and sets up Jared Goff with the play action to Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams and Sam Laporta. I will say this, though. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because Jaden Daniels is the truth. He has just shown time and time again, no moment's too big for him. No game is too big for him. I'm expecting high 20s, low 30s, both teams. I'm expecting a shootout because I don't think, even though Jaden Daniels just doesn't make mistakes. And a lot of times with rookie quarterbacks, you can make a mistake or so, and then it just snowballs, and then you can blow him out the building. Jaden Daniels don't make those types of mistakes. And I could just see this game being close, but I just think Detroit is just better, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think it's going to be a shootout, but I'm going to go Detroit.
For sure. Next up, we got 3:00 game Sunday. Rams versus Eagles. Now, Champ went for upset. He got the Rams. Who you got, BRF?
What do we always say? And I make note of this every single time I talk about playoff football. What travels in the playoffs? Good running game, good defense. Who has been doing both of that? Who's been performing in both of those phases better than the LA Rams the last month or 2 months? You can't find that many teams that have been doing better than the LA Rams running the ball and playing defense.
Sure.
Would it shock me if LA beat the Eagles? No, because I feel like because with Jalen, see, this is what we talked about in one of our last podcasts. I think they had said, I think Champ question was posed, who do you trust more, Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff? And I said Jared Goff from the standpoint of I trust his offensive play calling and coaching more than Jalen Hurts. But also at the same time, even with that really good Super Bowl game he had against Kansas City a couple years back, he has some clunkers as far as his ability to throw the ball and get the ball to his receivers. This is going to be a closer game than what a lot of people think because the LA Rams, particularly at the front seven, they're playing at a high level. They are really, really good. And this could be one of them games like they could just disrupt the flow of the Philly offense.
Right.
I'm gonna pick the Eagles though here, simply from the standpoint I think Saquon Barkley is gonna do to them again what he did to them earlier in the year. I think they're gonna find a way to get him the ball a ton, running the ball, catching out the backfield, lining them up, running routes. I feel like Saquon Barkley is the mismatch, is the X factor. I'm gonna go Eagles, but it would not shock me one bit if LA just had another 5-6 sack performance against the Philadelphia Eagles, the way their defensive front seven's been playing. But I'm gonna pick the Eagles.
Sure.
And I'm hoping that TikTok ban do not go through, because if it don't, I got something for all them Eagles fans who had something to say about my video earlier. I got something for you. It's in the oven. Just bake.
What video?
No, I had a video earlier saying, now people, this is going to show you the people don't listen. They listen with their mouth, not their ears. I said you have to ask yourself a question. if Jalen Hurts and that offense was to have a lackluster performance like they did last game. Should he be criticized? Jalen Hurts and Kellen Moore be criticized like Lamar, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert? If people just came coming out of the room like he scored 2 touchdowns. It was like, bro, that's not the Philadelphia offense that we're used to seeing. That Philadelphia offense that we're used to seeing is clicking on all cylinders. That offense was not clicking on all cylinders. So, like I said, I'm hoping that they don't lose, because even though I picked the Rams, because I want to see Saquon go to a bowl. But if they do, I got something for you Eagles fans. I'm ready to cook like meatloaf if you get out there and have a lackluster performance.
Right.
With extra ketchup.
All right. Last game, BRF, like I said, this is the main event right here. Sunday, 6:30 Eastern time. We got the Ravens versus the Bills. BRF, who do you have?
Somebody posted like a meme on IG. It was Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, and it was the WrestleMania 17 promo with Rock and Austin with the WWF Championship on the line. This is like the heavyweight bout of the divisional round. I mean, in all likelihood, the top 2 in the most valuable player voting going at it one-on-one here, and this boy, the good thing is one of them is going to the AFC Championship game, but the bad thing is one of them are not going to the AFC Championship. Wow. I'm expecting this to be low scoring. It wouldn't shock me at all if neither team broke 20 here. Because of the way the defense has been playing as of late, they pretty much been the number 1 defense since like week 11, week 12. I'm picking Baltimore here. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. Looking at Derrick Henry, I think Buffalo's defense has been pretty overachieving this season, considering the guys they have lost. I think they are still a little light on the defensive line, which is where a guy like Derrick Henry can get them running the ball. And I just think Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson should RPO the Buffalo Bills to death and back into death again and back. They should just RPO them to death. I'm looking at. I'll go 21-17, but I'm gonna pick the Baltimore Ravens here.
Okay, that's cool. Corday said, "I got Chiefs, Bills, Lions, and Rams winning." Okay, then he said, "I think the Rams versus Eagles going to be a very defensive game. I don't see them putting up too many points. It's really going to come down to which coach and quarterback can make that adjustment, and I think McVay going to outcoach them." That's fair. That's very fair. All right, y'all, man.
I do trust Sean McVay in the coaching situation more than Nick Sirianni. I really do.
Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all, man. We're gonna end it right there, man. Yo, Champ, you got any last words, bro, before we head out?
Thank you for inviting me on here. Always a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor, man. And look, Brandon, I'm proud of you, man. Keep doing your thing. BRF, you're my brother. I'm proud of you, man. Keep on doing what y'all doing, man. Hey, 2025. Hey, all it takes is that one big video, and you're there. So it can turn.
Got that right.
Y'all can turn it around in 1 second.
Right. Facts. BRF, what you got anything to say, man?
I'm just glad I was able to get on here and kind of talk it and chop it up with y'all a little bit. But yeah, Brandon, definitely shout out to you, like, for running the show tonight. Just like having the mishap earlier and then coming, being able to come back on and still kind of, get the message out there, get the word out there. You know, talking about football, the divisional round. So definitely shout out to you. Hey champ, back to you, man. You know, I wouldn't be here right now if you hadn't put me on them TikTok lives. So you best believe you my brother. You know I'm with you on this one. So yeah, definitely. Always a pleasure to be on here with you, Brandon, man. And it's always fun, regardless whether we have 3 people or whether it's like 8 deep. It's always fun being on here. So shout out to you, and hopefully this ain't the end of the TikTok era, as we want to say. But hey, you know what? We can't we can't let that stop us. You know, one monkey don't stop no show, as they like to say. So we just got to keep it rolling.
That right. You got that right. Hey man, and champ and BOF, I just want to say thank y'all for sticking up here tonight for all the the technical difficulties and all that type stuff. Very appreciate that as well. But it happens. Everybody got technology issues, or connections or stuff like that. But grind don't stop. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. But yeah, man, for all the people here, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Till next time, we are out. Peace.